Howdy doody, I'm Professor Swan, and welcome to Crash Course. Today we're going to be going over France in period 4.
Oh, Mr. Swan, why do they fight so much?
I don't know me from 5 minutes ago. Maybe because people from that era like to nitpick small things and they had religious wars for no reason. In the 1400s, Henry XI was walking tall over the bodies of his citizens while they were starving. This really planted the seeds for a democratic revolution throughout the world. Flash forward 100-ish years or so, and Henry II, one of his descendants, I don't know how it's a second, but died and left behind 4 sons. All of them were complete and total idiots. The real person that drove France was their mother, Catherine de' Medici, who tried to prove royal authority. Around this time, a new group was brewing, the Huguenots. They were French Protestants who wanted religious freedom, but nobody liked them because they didn't like change. Between 1562 and 1598, the Huguenots and the Catholics fought 8 religious wars. In 1572 was the Bartholomew's Day Massacre, where Catholics went around and completely, massacred all of the Huguenots. Then this new dude walked right in after Catherine died. Not really, he descended from Louis the 11th. He was Henry IV. King of the Bourbon dynasty. Guess he got up to some fun. He was a Protestant, so a lot of people didn't like that, but he converted to Catholicism because his country was very war-weary. He did, however, say that Protestants could live in peace and built the Edict of Nantes. Everything was going well. He brought strength to the monarchy, he increased religious freedom, but then somebody decided to jump in his carriage and stab him to death, and so he died. After him came Louis XIII. He was Henry's son, and he was a pretty weak king, but he did a smart move by appointing a cardinal that made up for all of his weaknesses, and the cardinal effectively became the ruler of France. They took 2 major steps to strengthen France. One, they took away walls from Protestant cities because they were afraid that they would rebel. And 2, they didn't let nobles build fortified castles for obvious reasons.
Yeah, Tenderfitch, square.
Let's head on over to the thought bubble. After witnessing war, philosophers turn to skepticism, which is basically saying that nothing can be proven. So Michel de Montaigne thought deeply about his life and stuff after a close friend's death. He actually developed the essay and pointed out whenever a new belief arose, it replaced an old one that was once accepted as the truth. Another dude was René Descartes. He was a brilliant thinker, and he also said one can never be certain of anything. He created the philosophy that helped develop the scientific method. That's what happened inside of France, but let's see what was happening outside of France's border. France and Britain followed the Dutch and started trading companies with Asia. All was going well until they decided to be dicks and militarize everything. France eventually started to get involved in dynastic struggles in Asia, which prompted their company to start making local alliances for the proxy war against Britain. This started a new phase of trading systems. Up until the 17th century, Spain had a monopoly on cocoa, but France started producing that sweet spice in Martinique and St. Lucia. They also started growing vanilla in their colonies, but later switched to sugar as it was more expensive and was a better cash crop. France then asserted control over Canada, but quickly lost interest between the 1500s because they didn't find anything of worth there. But while they were there, the Iroquois, who occupied Canada before the French came, weren't too happy about having to give up their home to uptight nobles, so they disrupted the French fur trade, which was a pretty big blow to the French. All in all, the French Empire expanded by trading with the Americas and Asia, as well as having mostly strong rulers or people to make up for those strong rulers.